Well, hi. On today's show, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to introduce you guys to some really good websites, blogs, news aggregators, and news sites that I follow on a regular basis. I've been following all of these sites for a number of years, and they have real lasting power and they've done a lot of good work. And of course, this list is not all inclusive. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but for time's sake, I'm going to go over some of the ones that I've been that have been on my radar for a number of years. So I hope you enjoy this, and I encourage you to check them out if it piques your interest. And these are just in alphabetical order. The first one is Avian Flu Diary. This is a blog run by Michael Costin. He's a blogger here in the state of Florida. And what he does really well is, of course, cover everything avian flu. So he keeps really good track of the different bird flu outbreaks around the world, human and otherwise. He's good at covering new research that comes out and he does quite a bit of commentary. He's been doing this for a lot of years, so he can go way back into his archives to pull stuff out. He does a really good job with covering the MERS situation in the Middle East right now. And he may be one of the best right now at covering the African swine fever situation in Asia and in Europe. So he does a really good job at that. And something non-infectious disease, which he does a good job at, is disaster preparedness, hurricane preparedness, and stuff like that. So if that's your bag, this is a good website for you to check out. He probably puts out 2 to 3 posts on a daily basis. Another one that I really enjoy, and this is the parasitology lover in me, is Bug Bitten. And this is a blog affiliated with the journal Parasites and Vectors. And they just do a really good job of all kinds of different mosquito-borne type diseases, parasites, malaria, schistosomiasis, and they just go over a lot of different stuff, a lot of blogs on different research that's out there. And again, that's associated with the journal Parasites and Vectors. This is out of the UK. Really good stuff. And again, it's called Bug Bitten. I think you would enjoy that. And then, of course, there's CIDRAP News, and Dr. Michael Osterholm and his team of writers up at the University of Minnesota put out this news site Monday through Friday, and they put out a handful of headlines and then a news scan which has short little blurbs about other news stories that are going on around the world. What they do real well right now, in my opinion, they are probably doing the best job of covering the DRC Ebola outbreak on a day-to-day basis as well as anybody else. So yeah, I definitely encourage, and they do other stuff too. They get into antimicrobial stewardship, food safety, and other related topics. So, and you can get on their email list, and the daily update will come to you right around 6 p.m. Eastern time every day, like clockwork. So again, that's CIDRAP News. And one of my favorite ones is Creepy, Dreadful, Wonderful Parasites. This is a blog that's been around for a number of years, and it's by Dr. Bobby Pritt up at the Mayo Clinic. And what she does is on a weekly basis, she introduces a case. And you can see she's already up to 547, so she's been doing this for years. And she introduces a case, the photographs, descriptions, case history, whatever else is available, puts it up there, and soon after she puts up the answer. But there's enough time in there for people that want to chime in. They have a chance to chime in and see if they know what the actual parasite is. So yeah, again, this one is called Creepy, Dreadful, Wonderful Parasites by Dr. Bobby Pritt. Good stuff. If you like parasitology, you got to check out this site. And then there's news aggregators and places that take contributions from others. And Flu Tracker has been around for at least a dozen years or more. And basically, they take contributions from people all over the world. And it's news articles, journal articles, actual statements and reporting, and it could be foreign languages. It's all there. And they have this forum type of website where you can see what's going on. They have these threads. So here's what's going on with the MERS. You can follow that thread, and it's organized like that. I personally like to follow them on Twitter. It's a very simple way to follow what Flu Trackers is doing on their Twitter page. But again, an incredibly important contributor to the world of infectious disease news dissemination. That's flutrackers.com. H5N1, or some of us know it as Crofts blog. Retired teacher Crawford Killian up in Canada has been doing this for a number of years, and he does a really good job. He is your classic news hound, and he finds stuff out there, gives you the original link where it came from, a few paragraphs of what's going on with it, maybe some commentary, and moves on. And he puts out quite a few of these stories, these blog posts, on a daily basis. So he's a great source, and he also does a great job of linking to other key sites, Twitter pages, and everything like that. So other social media links. So he does a really good job with that kind of stuff. And again, his name is Crawford Killian, and the website is H5N1 or Crofts blog. And I encourage you to check that out. I'm sure you'll appreciate what he's doing over there. And then there's HealthMap. And what HealthMap does, if you go to their main page, is you got this giant map, and it's just fantastic. And you can see they had 993 alerts from the past week. So they're, again, a kind of a news aggregator. They get all this news in there. They stick up these dots around the world. You can click on one of these dots. So here's one in Florida, and you can see the things that are going on recently in the state of Florida. Rabies alert in Osceola County, hepatitis A out of control, stuff like that. So they just do this fantastic job of getting all this together. And I want to say they're associated with Boston Children's Hospital. Yeah, that's how they were founded, by a bunch of researchers, epidemiologists, and software developers. And essentially they get all this information together and disseminate it. And it's a wonderful source of information for infectious diseases and outbreaks going on around the world. Again, that site is called HealthMap. One that most of us are familiar with is ProMedMen. And this may have been your first exposure to infectious disease news. They've been around forever. And what they do is they're a news aggregate site too, and they break it down by parts of the world, or languages in parts of the world, and just a flood of news comes in there every day. They give you some nice commentary. They have experts there that are able to give some commentary, and they do a really good job with that. And something else that they do is, if there's a story or a link up there, and oftentimes you'll have somebody who's on the ground working on that case or working on that outbreak, emailing in to give some up-to-date information, maybe corrected information, because maybe it's a news source that didn't get it right, and they go ahead and iron that out and give some corrected information. So it's really, really a valuable site. Again, that's ProMedMen. And let me go ahead and close out with the first blog I ever started following when I started looking into, I've been a microbiologist for decades, but the online world of infectious disease news and information and all that. The first place I found was Virology Blog, and this is run by Columbia University professor Vincent Racaniello. And right now he blogs puts up a post about once a week. He does have some guest posters now. Back in the day, he posted more frequently, but clearly his time is really occupied with the whole podcasting and video world that he's been running, going from place to place around the world, putting out these fantastic videos. And I'll get to that in just a second. He has some very, very interesting information on this website. Of course, he has, Virology 101. This is the actual class that he teaches at Columbia. And you can go on there, and he has videos of all his different lectures. Very valuable stuff. I've learned more about virology from this one blog than anything else I've ever done in my life. And like I said, the podcast he's doing an amazing job with this. And you can see he has a number of podcasts, some of the more popular ones, This Week in Virology, This Week in Microbiology. And you can go to these pages, and you got the videos, actual video, you have the podcast, if you want to just listen to audio. And so he's doing this stuff all over the place, and it's just some fantastic stuff. It's not so much newsy, but it's very sciencey. And they really they dig into the science, Dr. Racaniello and whoever his panel is for that particular show. So it's good stuff. I encourage you to check these out. I'm going to go ahead and have links to all these sites down below. Hope you enjoyed today's show, and I hope you enjoy these sites. And of course, I hope you enjoy OutbreakNewsToday.com. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, visit these people, visit their websites, good stuff. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you for the next infectious disease news brief.
And don't forget to check us out at the website, OutbreakNewsToday.com, the podcast, Outbreak News Interviews, which can be found on the website, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Spotify, and the Outbreak News This Week radio show, which is aired Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the Tampa Bay area on AM 1380 The Biz, or online streaming at 1380thebiz.com. And check out our social media presence, Facebook at Infectious Disease News, and Twitter at BackDman63. Outbreak News TV is a production of The Global Dispatch. Copyright The Global Dispatch Incorporated, 2019.